Back in the early 2000s, when I first started dating my now husband, Patrick, he would always talk about one day opening a fast food burger stand. Obviously, this should have been a huge red flag. But at the time, I thought, cute idea. It'll never happen. Patrick was a serial entrepreneur and was always dabbling in different businesses. Fast forward a few years, we got married, and not 3 months in, he runs off and secures a location for our first burger stand. I say our because Patrick's the idea guy, the visionary, but details, not his thing. And lucky for him, just happened to be mine. He didn't have a business plan, but to his credit, he did have a vision. He wanted to sell high-quality burgers made with only fresh ingredients at an affordable price in a really cool space. We had both read the book Fast Food Nation, so we were totally aware of the industry practices around the poor treatment of workers, the low-quality food, and the negative influence it had on American culture. Of course, we wanted our fast food restaurant to be different. So on a crazy hot Texas day, July 2005, we opened our first P. Terry's Burger stand in a really small, not well ventilated, 527 square foot building on a busy intersection in South Austin. We had no idea what we were doing, but we never stopped working. At the end of the day, I was exhausted. I was hot, I was sweaty, and I thought, there's no way in hell we're going to pull this off. The only thing that was clear is that if we were going to have any success, it was going to depend on all those other employees showing up to work. So taking care of them needed to be a priority. I grew up in West Texas in a working class family. When I was 7, my dad quit his job at Industrial Laundry to build and run his own laundry business. When I was 10, my parents divorced. This put my dad in a serious financial bind, struggling to build his business, in debt from a broken marriage, with 4 kids to support. The only way he could manage financially was to live in his laundry. On the weekends, I'd visit. I'd fold shop towels, racing my dad to see who could fold the fastest. I'd wash uniforms, and I'd help him with his books. I was responsible for writing down all the bills and invoices in the big black ledger. We also would go over his budget, counting down the days until he could get his own place. When I needed a break from the work and the laundry, my dad would drive me around town in his big shop van, and he would take me out to eat. We always went to this same little restaurant that was owned by this sweet young family because they would allow my dad to barter laundry services for food. Eventually, my dad got his own place, and he would allow other men who were experiencing homelessness to shower and work in his laundry. So building a family business and witnessing the hardships and the joys was not new to me. But seeing how my dad's business was more than just a source of income and became his community and gave his life purpose definitely had a bigger impact on me than I realized at the time. Thankfully, Patrick and I learned quickly that when you're building your own business, the rules of the game and the definition of success are entirely subjective. For us, success lies with leading with compassion and staying true to Patrick's vision. In doing so, we have found fulfillment akin to what my father discovered, a sense of significance and purpose that transcend mere profit, confirming our belief that seeking significance can lead to success. Over these last 19 years, we have grown P. Terry's to 32 locations with over 1,000 employees. But we would not have been able to achieve this without our employees showing up to work. We have employees who have been with us from the very beginning. They have become our family, and now they recruit family members and friends to come work with us. At one point, we had 3 generations of one family working in our store. Patrick's promise was always real food for real people, fresh antibiotic and hormone-free Black Angus beef, and fries made fresh from Idaho Burbank potatoes. All of our meat is provided by the highest quality suppliers, and our potatoes come from a family farm in Idaho where we actually send a handful of employees every year to participate in the potato harvest. We work closely with our vendors, treating many of them like partners. In fact, if it wasn't for the family farm in Idaho, I'm not sure we'd be able to provide the quality of French fries that we do. They have taught us so much about that little Burbank potato, the unique challenges to harvesting and storing the potatoes, and the importance of the starch to sugar ratio determining the perfect French fry, which, I might add, requires meticulous testing. Our French fry queen, yeah, we have a French fry queen. She tests and confirms the sugar level on the potatoes upon delivery, and based on this, we provide specific instructions on how to prepare the potatoes to each one of our stores. These protocols can change every 4 days. To you, this may sound crazy, and I get it. But to us, it's just one of many things we do to deliver on our commitment to quality. Thankfully, our business is a success, and in large part because of the people that work at P. Terry's. It's not easy to retain staff as well as high-quality food, but these are and have always been our highest priorities. In our society, there is this strong belief that prioritizing financial success is paramount. In the best-case scenario, many people dedicate the first half of their life pursuing success, and then search for significance and purpose in the second half of their life. We like to think that we can do both at the same time. For us, business success goes hand in hand with doing something significant. Patrick and I are very aware of our privilege, as well as the access that we have been given to people, resources, and opportunities. So, sharing our access has always been important to us. One of our goals of our business was to create an environment that allowed all of our employees to grow and excel within the company. A great example of this is Victoria. Her first job with us was cleaning the dining room of one of our restaurants. Within 2 years, she worked her way up through the kitchen to the front of the house, quickly being promoted to shift leader, then manager. Over time, she became an area director, and at one point oversaw 11 of our stores. Victoria now works in our accounting department and is married to a former employee. Being able to share our access and witness Victoria's professional growth and achievements fill us with pride. And the best part is that we have so many more employees like Victoria. And by giving them access to opportunities, they create their own path to success. And it's not lost on us that our employees' success helps us achieve our success. And I believe that's the case whether we are in the burger business, a retail business, or a huge technology business. Patrick and I also learned early on that we needed to build a strong support system for our employees. Soon after we opened, then a teenager who worked in the kitchen and made French fries called and said he couldn't get to work because his car was broken down. We needed Vin as much as he needed us. Patrick told Vin to call a cab and we'd pay for it. Patrick also loaned Vin the money to get his car fixed. We didn't know it at the time, but this would become the beginning of our interest-free loan program, allowing any employee an interest-free loan through the company whenever they needed it. You see, many of our employees are working paycheck to paycheck, and any sudden emergency or accident can wreak havoc on their life and turn their world completely upside down. We have learned in our business to make decisions on long-term relationships, not based on short-term gains. And then still works with us today, training new employees, almost 19 years later. We believe the health of our business is directly linked to the health and well-being of our employees. Without them, we would have thrown in the towel long ago. We treat our employees the way we want to be treated, with the respect they deserve for the hard work that they do. In the early days of P. Terry's, I was working a shift at the restaurant, and at the end of the day, everyone was wishing Rosario a happy birthday. I was like, how did I not know it was her birthday? I did payroll. I had access to everyone's birthday. From that day forward, I put every employee's birthday in my calendar, and I personally baked them a cake to take to the restaurant to make sure they knew how appreciated they were. I did this for 9 years. Then I passed the baton on to Susie, who became our personal birthday cake baker. This is Susie's full-time job, and she is the only P. Terry employee with a company car to deliver her cakes. We also care about the community beyond the bounds of our business. We pick one Saturday every 3 months, and we donate all the profits from that day to a local charity. So far, we have donated over $1.5 million to local nonprofits, who, I might add, are doing the life-changing work for the people in our community. Over the years, I have come to recognize our profound desire and need for connection, whether that be with our employees, our customers, or our community. It is these connections that break down walls and see past our differences and unite us in such a special way. In fact, I like to think that we're in the human connection business. We just happen to sell really good burgers. I mean, just imagine what our world could look like if we were all in the human connection business. But I don't want you to think that Patrick and I have never been tempted to take another path. In 2016, we got a huge offer to buy P. Terry's. I mean huge. Patrick and I would joke that we were going to run off and buy our own private island. I mean, this was it. This was our exit, our big win. We were quite giddy at the idea of it, and the offer was real. We were on the verge of selling a business that we had spent the last 11 years building from a true labor of love. Just before we were about to close on the deal, I was on a plane to visit a girlfriend, and I was watching the movie The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro. At the end of the movie, his character Ben says to her character Jules, "You know, Jules, no one is ever going to care about your business like you do." What? No one is ever going to care about your business like you do. That line hit me so hard. I got off the plane and I called Patrick. I don't think we should sell the business. This is not what we want our legacy to be. There was silence on the end of the phone. And then Patrick spoke. Thank God I was having second thoughts as well. Looking back, I think we got caught up in the money and the exit, and we completely lost sight of what brought us joy. Our intention of creating this business wasn't to build it for an exit, but rather to build it for a legacy. And we both knew no one was going to care about our business like we do. everything would change. It would be profit over people, the people that we love. Quality would decrease, prices would increase, and Patrick's dream of a family of 4 being able to eat a decent meal for under $20 would be gone in a flash. It took getting to this point for us to realize that our business is our identity, our livelihood, and our family. We know as we grow, some things will change, but we will always fight for what is right, for what makes us feel significant. When I think back to my dad's days in the laundry business, and now to our days in the burger business, I realize that we can't control the cards that we are dealt, but we can decide how we play our hand. For us, we chose significance first, with the belief that success would follow. In fact, it is our compassion for our employees, our commitment to quality, and our connection to community that allow us to stand out among the competition, allow us to feel significant, and ultimately have led to our success. When we can support our employees' growth and well-being, like Vin and Victoria, and when we can recognize each employee individually and allow them to feel recognized, like Rosario with the personal birthday cakes, it is these opportunities that represent the connections that we desire and need. It is the compassion we have, the gratefulness that we have for the community that we have built, that have truly have defined our success and has determined how we play our hand. But not only can we all play our hand differently, but what if we reimagined the entire game? A game that's not an either-or situation where you must find success first and then significance, when there's just a limited number of winners. But a game where you can have both success and significance, and everyone wins. Where compassion, connection, and finding significance are the goals. A game where everyone is seen and valued and has access to all that they need. That is what success looks like to us, not living on an island by ourselves. Thank you.